Let's welcome in Shawne Merriman, Mr. Lights Out himself.
Yeah.
There
he is.
What's up, fellas?
One of the great all-time sack dances ever. Where would you rate yours? Are you saying yours is the best of all time?
I think so, man. I'm looking at. It's always an uncomfortable question because I hate, for one, talking about myself. If somebody else said, I'm like, okay, cool. But when it comes to the sack dances, man, mine, I think at the time was so original, right? Like there was no one else doing something like that. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, when you see a bunch of these guys, they're like doing whatever the latest dance is, right? Like they're all doing the same thing. So I used to love Jared Allen's, DeMarcus Ware, Joey Porter's kick. I used to like a whole lot, man. So you had some guys out there who had some pretty good sack dances.
Shawne, my favorite when I was a kid, and I'm older than you, was Mark Gastineau with the Jets back in the day, like the New York Sack Exchange. And I hated the Jets when I was a kid. I grew up in New York, not a Jets fan. I hated them, but I loved the Mark Gastineau sack dance. Did you like that one?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think his was rated. They did on ESPN. They did something where they rated the top 10 or top 15. His was like 1, mine for 2 or 3 or something like that. I'm always going to be 1 in every category, right? That's just like the competitive edge I have. But he was one of the ones. He was the one that made it cool, right? Yeah. Like as a defensive player, like he made it cool and kind of set the tone for everybody else.
Shawne, I used to be a defensive end. It don't look like it no more. Like I got the 3-4 defensive end body. Like what I'm saying, I got the 2 gap. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm just holding people up, telling the backers to get home. But you made a cameo. How the heck did you get into the Kanye West, Carrie Hilson, Neo knocks you down video? Like how did that just pop up?
So my boy Chris Robinson, the big time director, he's from Baltimore and I'm from Maryland. And they had this party coming up, and so I guess he was talking to Kanye and talking to everybody there. They're like, hey, Shawne Merriman, I think this would be a good part. And so it was really Kanye and everybody, and Chris Robinson, who called me and asked me to come and do that part. So I didn't expect it. I just got a call from Chris out the blue. I'm like, Kanye, Carrie Hilson, Neo, yeah. Where y'all at? Where do I go?
You had me a Kanye.
Sign me up.
Hey, go ahead, Tyvis.
Shawne, you had a season, I think it was in your first season, you had 10 sacks, and then the next season, I think you dug back with 17 sacks. What was the difference in your offseason that helped you get to those extra 7 sacks?
Man, to be honest, I was around like Ray Lewis, LeVar Arrington, around a lot of those guys. So they kind of was telling me because of the rookie season I had, he said, man, dude, they're going to be gunning for you, just know. And so I changed my mentality from playing against offensive sets to playing against coordinators, right? What people going to come out and do with me, slide protection, chips off the edge, tight bunch sets to keep me off from the line of scrimmage and getting in my pass rush. So I was prepared for that season. So every time I started to see a guy go in motion, I'm like, oh, they come to crack block me. Like my mind was always going that somebody's going to stop me from getting to the quarterback. So my mentality was was different. And also, man, I picked up MMA. I started training MMA during that all season to work on my hands and endurance, and I felt better.
Are you going to fight on any of your cards? You look like you can still get in there and knock heads.
No, man. Look, I like to train with the guys, and our main event that we got coming up right there with Musa and Albert, who had a short stint in the UFC. I've trained with both of these guys. I sparred with them, and we've been in the gym. That's the far as it go for me, man. Like I think a lot of people get in here. And I like to stay in shape because I still like to compete. It keeps me young, keeps me disciplined, give me something to wake up in the morning for. And I like being around those guys because it's like being in the locker room again. You hear the back and forth trash talking. These guys are ready to scrap. So I like being around it. But as far as competing, man, I'm running the show behind the scenes, so it's hard to do both.
Shawne, if Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt got in the ring, who you putting your money on?
Ooh.
I'm putting Myles, man. I'm putting Myles. Myles is a freak of nature, and I've seen him boxing during the offseason before. And I told him, I said, hey, I know you made a lot of money, but you can make some more money when you're done somewhere else. I'm just saying. So, he's an athletic freak. I haven't seen J.J. Watt, even though he's an athletic freak, man. But I tell you, sometimes those muscles and all that don't help you in that cage, man. That when you put those gloves on to get in there and they lock that cage, those muscles can't help you.
Let me ask you this. You're a Maryland guy. DeQuell Jackson was a regular on our show before he big-timed us and took a job with the Browns. What if you and DeQuell get in a cage at the same time? Who's coming out alive?
Come on, man.
No, that's me, man. I'm picking myself up anybody. Quell's my boy, man. We talk every other week. We on group text and we still clown each other. But you know, it's funny because I tell people how great DeQuell was, and the team at that time, the Browns, just didn't do well. But DeQuell, if he got more attention, people need to understand that he was one of the best who did it. Numbers wise, look at his play. I played with him, man, so I know what he did in college. But I wish he got more notoriety in the league because DeQuell was a baller.
He was.
He's the best Browns linebacker in probably 30 years. I mean, we recognized him here, but as you said, the Browns had so little talent around them that it didn't stand out nationally.
Yeah, and when I left school early, I came back and I drove my new cars and stuff up on campus, and and Quell and everybody kind of got in the car with me. I said, dude, you up next. And so it was cool for them because I was a younger one and just ended up leaving early and then going back and then seeing DeQuell's career. And you're right, man. If they had a better team around him, DeQuell go down as one of the all-time greats, and I think he still is, but he would have got the notoriety that he ultimately deserved.
You talked about Myles Garrett. What way does Myles Garrett's, I'll give you matter of fact, I'm gonna switch my question right here. I'm gonna just give you a couple of names, and can you give me what makes these pass rushers great in your opinion? Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett. What makes those guys great?
Well, start with Micah Parsons, man, to be honest. And I hate making these comparisons. I remember an article coming out comparing me to Junior Seau after I had a big rookie year. And I'm like, dude, listen, Junior was on a whole nother planet. So I don't want those comparisons. But I think that we can start comparing at some point. I'm not saying right now, but at some point, compare Micah Parsons to Lawrence Taylor. You're talking about somebody with the same explosion, speed, tenacity, and these guys aren't looking to go make a tackle. They're looking to blowing everything up. These guys can take over games. Myles Garrett, I think his physical attributes is something we haven't seen. His leverage, he has a long arm stab move. He's still so strong, man. And that one play when he was lining up over the center, kind of basketball dribbling and go, it's a game. He's playing with guys, man. That's when you just on a whole different platform to any one of these guys because you're able in the mid game. You got to be focused. He's out there toying with guys because his physical attributes is bigger than anyone else. And TJ Watt, man, he's ferocious because he can beat you with speed, but he has this unique power because he's still a tall guy to bend and lean and come back under, man, and split double teams. Obviously, we just talked about being able to know what offensive coordinator is going to do to you. I mean, he's been chipped and double teamed a lot this year. Watch TJ Watt and how he split these chips when these running backs come and hit him off the edge of the line of scrimmage. He has that combination because he's still a tall guy to bend and be nimble enough to come up under and make these big plays happen.
Mikey.
Yeah, Shawne, so I just texted DeQuell and told him we had you on, and he goes, haha, that's my guy, lights out, what a great dude. You guys will be stupid not to ask him how he got the nickname Lights Out. It's a legendary story around the DMV. So from DeQuell Jackson's text to my mouth to your answer, how did the nickname Lights Out come to be?
So I knocked out 4 guys my sophomore year in high school.
His sophomore year.
My sophomore year in high school, yeah. And so I had 20 students come run up to me after the game and said, man, you knocked those guys' lights out. And I said, you know what? Call me Lights Out. I didn't think it was going to stick. I just threw it out there. Next thing you know, Monday morning in school, this is pre-social media now. Yeah. Everybody's called me Lights for Lights Out. And I went home. I begged my mom to let me get this Lights Out tattoo on my arm after 2 weeks. She kicked me out the room every day for 2 weeks, told me to get out, right? So finally, let me get the Lights Out tattoo. But the fun story is, I'll tell you this, when I got up there on campus, Quell's a Florida boy, right? And I'm from the city. I'm from Maryland, Washington, D.C. Quell ain't want a roommate with me because he thought that he thought I was too city for him. So Quell was like, I'm not staying with you. He went with another country boy, our boy Will Kershaw from North Carolina. But man, Quell, let me tell you, man, he has the best stories because I was Lights Out walking into the building and I was running my mouth and challenging people to fights and practice. It was nonstop with me, man. And we had such a tight knit group. And honestly, man, if we were a little bit better at the time on offense, we would have won a national championship. If you look at that defense with me, DeQuell Jackson, E.J. Henderson, Leon Joe, Randy Starks, Dominic Foxworth, you can go through that whole roster, man. We were loaded on the defense side of the ball.
Wait, what year was this? What year in college?
This was 02 to 04.
And this is before NIL too. Don't let me find out that y'all was getting some money back there. That defense
was the year the
that's
Buckeyes won the
crazy.
Yeah, well they wasn't beating the Buckeyes. But anyway,
Well, I have Buckeyes. I have Buckeyes.
Listen.
They play this week.
yeah, they do. They play this week.
Yeah, I'm calling my Terps. I'm telling you right now, the Terps. Yes.
Shine.
I came on. I saw that shirt.
Shine.
I saw that shirt when I came on. And I say this especially for you.
Shine.
The Terps right now are 5-0. The Terps are 5-0.
Shine, this is cute. This is really cute that you think.
Yeah.
That's,
And it's cute now, but it's about to get ugly. Watch how.
Wow.
Watch how sad y'all. Watch me leave it.
in Ohio and Ohio State, Maryland's go in.
Absolutely, we coming in there and taking the dub. I'm telling you, right? Look. I know everybody talk about the biggest talk in college football. We know Coach Prime. Nobody's talking about Maryland. Nobody's talking about Maryland and the most explosive college team and most explosive offense in college football. And no one's talking about it. And they about to. I'm not even gonna call it upset because we're supposed to win.
Tua's little brother tore the Buckeyes defense up last year. That's a fact. You can't. Tyvis?
Wait a minute. Who won that game?
They won the game,
okay.
but he tore the Buckeyes defense to pieces.
All that matters is the win.
Who won the yeah, the bull? What are we talking about here?
But it should be a
What are we
competitive
talking
game,
about?
though.
I think it's going to be very competitive.
I agree. I think it should definitely be a competitive game. And
the spread's like 19 points. I'm interested now.
I think it's 18.5. But
The spread's 18.5?
I think it's
19
disrespectful that
points.
y'all not in the top 25. I will say that, but come on, man. You know.
Yeah, look, numbers are numbers. And I'm telling you right now, that offense is going to go in there and march the ball right down the field. Now, I'll say this. We might have a little trouble in the trenches. Y'all got a big offensive line. Y'all got some hogs up, some big dogs up front on that defensive line. Skill position, y'all can't hang with us. And it's not going to happen. We're going to scorch y'all on offense. It's going to come down to the wire.
Wait a minute. Skill. What are you talking about? Skill.
Marvin
position.
Harrison Jr. is pretty good.
You're talking about one player. Maryland has three guys.
So Emeka Ibuka is not the second best receiver in college football? Because we got 1 and 2. You know that, right?
I don't know how much time, but I'm about to Google these numbers that Maryland put up.
I think the two.
Hey, Sean, what do you want me to look up? I will do your research.
The two leading receivers from last year is the Buckeyes.
In the Big Ten?
That doesn't make them the best necessarily.
Coming back to returning, they are the best. What are you talking about?
Well, that alone doesn't prove they're the best.
Okay, this is cute. This is really cute. Oh my gosh,
Be careful.
This is hilarious.
Whenever somebody have to go to 1 or 2 players on their whole team, it's a bad sign.
They got one shot.
The thing is,
Are we saying Ohio State's quarterback's a stiff? Is that what we're saying?
Wait a minute. Outside of Talia, we don't know anybody else on the Terps.
Oh, Hemby. That running backs they got back there, they're crushing right now.
Ohio State has 6 of them, so they have 6 running backs.
I mean,
and every last one of them will come in and get 100 yards.
For the
as a matter of fact, I think Dallin Hayden had 100 yards on y'all. He's like the 5th string running back.
I got to get Sean's back here. The leading receiver in the Big Ten last year wasn't on Ohio State.
Oh, who was it?
Maryland.
It wasn't Maryland either.
Oh,
okay.
Purdue. Charlie Jones.
Dangerous Charlie Jones.
He does have a touchdown in the NFL this year.
David Bell was going back and forth from the Browns to the Purdue catching touchdown.
Sean, I want to get to something else. I'm curious your take on DeShaun Watson, right? He misses almost 2 full years. He comes back the final 6 games last year. He plays terribly. First 2 games this year he struggled, and then he played a great game against Tennessee, and then he's hurt. This guy in Houston looked like he was on his way to being one of the elite quarterbacks, maybe even a Hall of Fame quarterback. Outside of this one game against Tennessee, we haven't seen it here. Are you expecting to see that guy again? Do you think he's been mentally screwed up by everything that's happened? Like, what do you make of him and his game going forward?
For one, his shoulder was banged up, right? And I thought it was a smart decision by them not playing him. And it's the same thing when you talk about like Joe Burrow with that calf. I just don't understand why you let your franchise quarterback, if they're not 100% or close to it, go out there and risk further damage. He's going to, they signed him to a big deal. He's going to be there for a long time. They got to pay him. Sit him out. He went out there. He's been through a bunch of injuries already. He's played through a lot. He's tore his knee up in college before. He's been banged up. So he understands the difference between hurt and injured, right? So I thought it was smart to pull him out. But on the flip side, it's such a team game, man. Like losing Nick Chubb going down was a big hit for them. They're getting, honestly, man, on that offensive and defensive line, they're getting bullied, in certain positions. Lamar Jackson is going to get his yards. You're not going to shut Lamar Jackson down. He's going to beat you or beat it with his arm or legs at some point in time. He's going to get his plays. But if you go back and watch that game, man, you see some guys getting bullied a little bit on the offense and defensive line. They have guys that can pass rush. They got guys that can get after the quarterback. The problem is they're not putting up points on offense. So how is Myles Garrett and these guys who can get after the quarterback going to be in a pass rush situation if they're not putting up points on offense? That's the biggest problem, man. Like when you built a team and you have a team in Schwartz over there who's a very aggressive defensive coordinator. He's been aggressive his whole entire career. Every time he's coached anywhere, he knows how to get after the quarterback. But why would anybody throw if they're playing from behind? And so that's the biggest thing of what I'm saying. But DeShaun, man, he has to play better, or else that team is just not going to go anywhere.
Shawne, we appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for taking the time with us.